here.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite last words, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Star Wars Black Series Praetorian Guard from the regular wave. So this is different than the Amazon exclusive. It's different than the exclusive that comes with the 4-pack. We'll take a look at all three at some point so we can see the subtle differences, but they are there. Take my word for it. This is going to be the last one, I hope, for a while, because this is the last and the only one I haven't looked. Well, no, I got that SH Figuarts one coming in a couple weeks, but at least we get a little bit of reprieve. It's been a lot of Praetorian Guards, getting a little tired to me, but I'm extremely busy this week and next week. I'll show you why instead of the skit today, but for right now, let's focus on this guy. Let's move through it quickly so we can take a look at what I'm up to. I think it's pretty exciting, but it's also pretty interesting, especially from a collector's standpoint. I will be doing a sit-down Saturday, I hope anyway, this week. We'll talk more about that then, but for right now, let's look at this accessory. And it's just like this halfway between, so it's not the full-length blade of the Elite one, and it's not the shorter one that splits apart. It's somewhere in between. Nice silver paint on the red plastic and a decent enough sculpt. All right, so we're going to fly through this because we've already looked at this mold twice now. We're just going to talk about the differences. So the main difference is the head sculpt. So the bottom jaw doesn't protrude over the top helmet. The top helmet covers up the bottom jaw, which is the main difference here. Interesting. I wish it was a little bit more different. Like the thumbnail head guy is obviously far different. The other two are a little bit more subtle. I wish it was a little bit more noticeable between the three. Head is still on a ball hinge, so you get you up to there, down to there, and then the swivel. The shoulder pieces are on ball pegs so they can swivel out of the way. The shoulders themselves are on disc hinges. They work perfectly, as we've already talked about, getting you all the way up to there. And, well, I guess the ball joint will fail, but it gets you around. No paint anywhere. The sculpt is different on the more matte red than it is. Like it's like obviously like an undersuit sort of thing, and then a little bit of blue paint there. And that's all there really is to say in regards to that. There is an elbow. It's right where the bicep swivel is. If you're looking for it, it is very challenging to use. It's not done the best, but it is there. Wrist swivel and hinge in out, and that's on both hands, I think. Ooh, nope, this one's up down, so it's worth looking at. Ball jointed diaphragm, getting you a great range. You can break up the sculpt a little bit with a little bit of gappage, but I think it's worth it for the range. You just have to control yourself. Floating pieces, they're glued on to the top here. Softer plastic, not my favorite way to do business, but it is what it is. T-jointed ball joints for hips with a great range on them, getting you out to there. And front and back, a decent bit as well. Thigh swivel at a cut joint. The legs are entirely sculpted. And double jointed knee, getting you a great range. Not the prettiest sculpt, but the knee pad does a fairly good job of covering up. Moving on down, we do have black paint at the bottom of the shoe. We do have an ankle tilt all the way up, which is fantastic. All the way down, which is good enough. And a rocker that gets you a fair range. The side of the bits do plug it up a little bit. So I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. Let's take a look at all three real quick. So there all three sculpts are together, and these are all the Hasbro ones. So obviously the main difference being this guy's unit here. The rest of it is pretty much identical across the board with the exception of the weapons. And their head sculpts are obviously all different, but this one's the most noticeable. Let's look at these two. So I thought it'd be worth looking at just the subtle differences. This one is looking that way, and this one's looking that way, and the guy in the boat's like, what do you want from me? Story for another time. But anyway, as you can see, the helmet covers the entire faceplate here. On this one, the faceplate protrudes out from the helmet, and that's really the kind of stylistic difference there. So I am working on the last room of my house, and as a result, I have to clear out the storage space. So I'm getting rid of a ton of boxes. I can't explain to you how somewhat cathartic this is, and at the same time, a little troublesome, just because it really makes you realize how much of your life and space and living quarters you dedicate to this hobby. So Joe KW came over today and he helped me out with the storage room, which was a nightmare. So we got this all done now. Smee's crate. Everything is looking good in here. Halloween's over here. Christmas is going to be over there. And then that's going to be some diorama stuff up in there. And then just toy storage basically there. And I can't show you the other side of this wall yet, but we'll do another cribs next year. So that's why some of the reviews are going to be a little short and sweet this week. I just got a lot going on. Final thoughts wise, it's pretty much the same deal as before. I think it's worth getting just for the sense of building the troops. I mean, at least it's 3 different varieties so that you can get all 8. Hopefully, maybe it's at least 4 different varieties. That would even be nicer. Pardon me, I'm trying to get the camera sorted. But, I think it's a good enough. The elbows are a little wonky per usual. I wish there was different hand options, but Hasbro doesn't really want to play that game, it seems. Although I'm not exactly sure why. I feel like they could do it. I mean, we've seen them do it with Marvel Legends, with Spider-Man and such, so it'd be nice if they threw in a few here and there for Black Series. But be that as it may, everything works here. The weapon is different, the face is different, so it does give you a little bit of variety. It will help flush out your shelf. It isn't perfect, but I think it's worth its asking price. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I promise no more of these for at least 1 or 2 weeks. Till next time, take care.